Greetings, African people. Today I'm going to talk about families, the Black family. It's not just the Black family that is broken. Every nation of people have issues with family. You know, the regular old joke about Thanksgiving, having people come over, and by the time Thanksgiving dinner is over, people are at war with each other. So it's a human thing. But I think with the Black family, we have to take another approach in trying to mend fences in our families. And it is near to impossible to do that. Uh, I don't want to make excuses for us anymore. I don't want to blame slavery. I don't want to blame colonialism for the state of our affairs. Because while those things play a pivotal role in how we are developed mentally and spiritually, we still have to take responsibility for our own actions. And I'm here to say the Black family is way past broken. Our lives are shattered, and many of us are not willing to mend fences. Recently, I went to Jamaica, and this is a very personal story, trying to make peace with it and trying to link that experience with our condition as Black people. Went to Jamaica. I haven't seen my maternal mother in 32 years. And recently I reached out to her, had a conversation with her, tried to meet her where she's at. And so I decided I want, it'd be nice to meet up with her and talk to her, for the brief time that I was there. And her response left me blown away, bedazzled. The conversation, my first contact with her lasted 1 minute, literally. And I felt hurt. I reached out again to explain to her the reason why her relationship with her children was the way it is because of her attitude about not wanting to meet her kids even halfway. That thing really messed with my mind. And I say to myself, that situation is not just confined to my own life. It is a regular experience of African people. Mothers against daughters, fathers against son, brothers against sisters, husband against wife. It's not just a physical manifestation of what is going wrong in our race. It is a spiritual manifestation. It's almost like a kind of curse that each generation repeat the same thing, the same action. Love divides us, separates us at every turn. So you go to Jamaica and you look at poverty and you think this is, only confined to people who live in the inner city. And you're not linking poverty with lack of love. Our governments don't look at the poor as if they are worthy because most of the people who are poverty stricken in my country are Black people. It is a cycle. You don't get love from your mother or your father or your sister or your brother. You don't get love from your relationship. And you learn how to live with this and appreciate this and accept this. And you repeat that. You get your children and you say things to them that breaks their spirit. You break their bodies with physical abuse and you call that love. I'm so tired of seeing people on different social network when they see kids behaving badly, talking about how they would beat them to set them straight. That's the mentality of our people. But the thing about it is, as we are beating our kids, when other folks beat us to keep us in subjection, we complain. But the complaint is a superficial one because if you're being beaten by a system, being beaten by individuals who make it very clear that they don't even respect you, they see no value in you, and you're always running back to that very system that beats you, to sort you out, to fix you. It's like that abused woman who's always going back to her partner, trying to see if some point they can get back to that honeymoon phase, and that only lasts for a short time. But we accept abuse in our relationships. We accept abuse in our mother-daughter kinds of relationship. We accept abuse as subjects to the state, because at the core of all of this, there is no true love. We don't know how to love each other. Can I ask you a question? How many of you who is in the States have gone out to see the Nat Turner movie? I went to the movie on the weekend and it was not there, so I think it's something that is banned here. How many of you black people, because I've seen some argument where black people, uh, black feminists claiming that they're not going there because that man is a rapist, the person who made the film. Now, this man was always a rapist, according to these individuals, yet we know him in Hollywood. And he made a movie that was supposed to teach you about some of the experience of black people, and you have rejected it. And 12 years of slave, when I went, 12 years a slave, I think, when I went to see it, there was no room in that theater. And even though a black person was supposedly the director of that movie, that person was just a little guinea pig. That person only told the story. He was just used to tell this slave movie that just showed black people in a very negative light. Black people actually justify not going to see that movie. Why? And then moments later, you hear them talking. I am at the point now where I say there is no point in crying about racism. There's no point of talking about, injustice and all these things, because at the end of the day, black people do not want justice. Black people do not want equality. Black people do not want freedom. It's a disgrace. It's a shame. Our leaders across the world, whether in Africa or the diaspora, have not stepped up to demonstrate, except from Mugabe, have not gotten up to get up and say, these are my people and I want to govern them this way. And I want us to come together and, build our nation and our people. Our families are shattered. Our relationships are shattered. You know, siblings hate each other. And if they connect, sometimes it's on a superficial way. It's very sad. So for a moment, I was feeling so hurt about the way my mother responded to my call. Found out later on that she had asked for money and I didn't have that money. So I told her it's not now, it's not at that moment. And my intention was to go there and spend some time with her and share a little of what I have with her, like I would do to any stranger, I would do to her. But because she's short sighted, she rejected me. I know about rejection, but I don't allow it to stop me. But the more I get these experiences, whether it be with family or friends, socially or politically, when I see how much we don't support each other, when I see how the average person, the average black man or woman, when you are just getting by in life, nobody really wants to be your friend. But the moment they see your name in the limelight, everybody wants to be associated to you. And I'm telling you right now, if I became very wealthy, I would not share that information, because the people around me, the people that I want to call my friend, have to be individuals who accept me as I am. Why aren't you seeing the Nat Turner movie? And I'm sure you're going to go out and see Tyler Perry's movie. And not that I have anything against Tyler Perry, but I find black people just gravitate to things which are of no substance. But the thing that will allow you to free yourself mentally, physically, spiritually, you want no part of that. I'm going to continue to share stuff, but I'm switching my focus. We're not victims at this point. Any kind of victimization is the one that we voluntarily participate in. For us, money is power. And even though we don't have a lot of money, but what we choose to do with our money could say a lot. And we refuse to use that to build ourselves. We continue to be jealous of each other, continue to, show disregard and disrespect for building our nation. It's not the fault of persons who dominate and rule over you. It's your fault for consistently making excuses about why you're not powerful. Our families are shattered, and we really don't want to do anything about it. Be blessed, African people. Think on these things.